Looking for a sweet, easy crochet pattern to make a elegant dish towel? Watch today's video and I will show you how. The yarn I found on clearance is a fine weight. It's rated number 2, so it's a fine weight, but I loved it. It has a little bit of shimmer. So I'm going to use a size F crochet hook and going to make a dish towel out of this. And I was looking for something a little bit more elegant to display. So to start with, just wrap the thread around your index finger and your thumb and draw up the yarn, not drawing up the tail. And we're going to chain until it's 15 inches wide, nice and loose. Just do chains all the way across, no need to count. Okay, that's roughly 15 inches. So I have my chains. Now I'm going to chain 2 more to start my next row. So I'm going to do 2 chains, going to turn my project, and in the 3rd chain from the hook, so there's 1, 2, and 3, we're going to do a half double crochet, and we're going to go under both of the pieces of yarn on that stitch. See, there's 1, 2, 3 pieces, so go under 2 of them. So to do a half double crochet, you put it over the hook once, insert it into the stitch, draw through, and then draw through all on your hook. And we're going to do that all the way across. So I'm going to do another half double crochet in the next stitch and draw through all. This is the last stitch of your first row, so I'm going to go ahead and go into that last chain, do a half double crochet, chain 2 to turn, but at this point you need to count how many half double crochets you have. So go through, count your turning chain, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Count all the way across and count how many half double crochets you have. So I have 56 half double crochets. So on row 2, we're going to do half double crochets all the way across as well. Okay, to start with, we did our chain 2, and then we do half double crochet in each of the stitches below. When you get down to the end, we will stop and we will count to make sure that I still have 56. Very, very important to count at the end of each row. Okay, at the end here, this is considered a stitch, the turning chains. So we're going to go ahead and do a half double crochet there and then count to make sure that you have the same number of stitches. Perfect. I have 56. So I'm going to continue and do a total of 4 rows of the half double crochet. Then we're going to do a little variation to make the pattern pop. Okay, so after the 4th row, I am going to make a frame inside the towel itself. I don't know if that's the right word, but at this point, it is about 1.5 inches into my project. So I'm going to go 1.5 inches in with solid half double crochets. Then we'll have a space in between each one, and then over here we'll have 1.5 inches. So I don't know if frame is the right word, but we'll just get going here. So I'm going to go about 1.5 inches in, which should be about 6 half double crochets. Okay, so that's 6. Let's see what that measures. Yeah, that's right at 1.5 inches. So now I am going to chain 1, skip 1, and do a half double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet. All the way across until we get to about 1.5 inches from the other side. Okay, now that we're down to this end, I want to be pretty close to 6 like I was on this end, but if it's one way or the other, if it's 5 or 7, we're fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this looks like we might be at 7, so let me finish And again, we have to count our stitches to make sure I'm still at 56. Okay, so on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's fine. So we have 7 here and 6 there, which will be just fine. So to count your stitches now, we count a space as 1. So we have 2, 4, 6, 7. A space is 8, 9, 10, 11. And then continue across. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm still at 56, so it looks great. At this point, we chain 2 to start the next row, and we do our 7 on this end. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I want this frame, this gap row, to continue going up and down as well. So I'm going to chain 1 and skip the gap. But now we are going to fill the gap with a half double crochet. Okay, to show you what I'm talking about. So now this center section of your towel is going to be solid with just a row on the inside, like a border on the inside. So continue across till we get down to this one. We're going to leave that one as a gap and then do your 6 at the end. Okay, close to that last one, we're going to chain 1 to keep the gap going. And continue. This is the end that had 6. Okay, double check. 2, 4, 6, we're good. 7, and then count the rest of them. I am going to continue this pattern until my towel is about 22 inches long. So just continue doing the chain 2 on the ends, turn, and start with your amount to keep your border going, keep your gap, fill it up in the center, and I'll come back and show you how we finish this off. I have my project to roughly 22 inches, so now I need to continue this pattern of this gap row. I need to continue it on this end. So I'm at the end of the row. I'm going to chain 2 just as normal. All along, I have been counting to make sure that I have the same number of stitches. In my case, it's 56, and I have been really surprised. Every once in a while, I had skipped a stitch, so it's important. I'm a firm believer in counting at the end of each row. So here we are. I have done my 6 that are on this part. I'm going to continue the chain 1 and do this gap section. And now I'm going to do chain 1, skip 1 to continue the row. Chain 1, skip 1. And I'll go all the way across to that corner and finish out the edge with the half double crochets on that border. Okay, here I am to this corner. Chain 1. And go ahead and go in here and finish out with the half double crochets. Then I will count my stitches. Okay, I just counted and I'm still at 56, remembering that this gap is counted as 1. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So count yours, make sure you have the same number. So I'm just going to simply mirror this end, and I have 4 rows here, so I'm going to do 4 half double crochets there. I'm no longer going to continue the gap, so it's just solid 4 rows. Okay, here it is, all done. Very, very fast, very easy, and super cute. While you're making your project, if you have any pattern ideas to vary this one, let me know. I'm always looking for ways to change things up. But as always, thanks for watching DIY on the House.